On the first day, man was granted a soul, and with it, clarity. On the second day, upon earth was planted an irrevocable poison, a soul-devouring demon. Nearly a year out from the release of this. Can't tell yet. This is Demon Souls PS5. The astonishingly well done Bluepoint. Now, while the majority of it is pretty faithful, this CGI cutscene that starts the game is sort of a remix of a lot of the elements of the original opening cutscene. Notably, it still includes the fight with the skeleton and some multiple areas. The beginning part with the text is more or less identical, except in much higher fidelity. The fight with the skeletons much the same as it was in the original cutscene. Helpful souls there. It was also present, same as it was here. And much like in the original, the Dragon God is out in the open air, which in-game he's not, very much so. Except for one possible area. Hopefully we'll see him. Recently, Sony acquired Bluepoint. This is about a week or so after that announcement was made. It's kind of funny that they accidentally tweeted out that they had joined the PlayStation family 2 months ago or so, and then kind of deleted that tweet, and nobody said anything about it because no one was ready to announce it yet. And it's pretty funny that now it's made official after this long of silence. There's probably something on the legal back end that probably needed to be tied up for all we know. They're probably never going to acknowledge it outside of one cheeky tweet from Herman Holst. But, onto the game itself. The original game came out in North America on PlayStation 3, October 6th, 2009. Let's go ahead and start a new game here. Gonna continue in offline mode. Yes, I'm sure of that. One of the many things improved upon in this remake is this much more in-depth character creator. And something I like to see, and I'm sure a lot of other people who it applies much better to as well like to see, is that rather than saying male or female body type, you have just type A or type B. Type A is the more typical feminine, while type B is the more typical masculine, at least by most terms. So, let's give me a name here. Now, let's look through the classes. Soldier, a low-class soldier that always stands at the front line of battlegrounds, with high vitality and durable armor, equipped for encroaching dangers. Knight, a knight class of rather advanced area of southern Boletaria, fitted with sturdy armor and adept at close combat, ready for ensuing situations. Hunter, a specialist at outdoor activities, wields an axe and bow, well versed to deal with both manners of danger. Priest, a soldier of the church that believes in the god of this world, adept at close combat and can draw upon restorative miracle. Magician, a commoner that officially learns spells, skillfully commands magic spells with high intelligence to deal with combat afar. Wanderer, a lightly equipped soldier that continues an aimless journey, wields a falchion and a dagger to handle situations requiring quick wits and fast reactions. Barbarian, a person from a primitive civilization, though lacking in gear, pure strength matched with high wealth, wielding a powerful club. Thief. Thieves are hired by royalty and engage in dirty jobs. Specializes in crafty and indirect tactics over conventional methods. Temple Knight. A special knight that protects the temple of God. Heavily clad and equipped for crowd control, who draws upon a restorative miracle. Royalty. A person of royal descent who has officially learned commands the spell Soul Arrow with the benefits of a rare ring. Now, we're gonna go with Knight. I still really love my sword and board style of play. I am very tanky, as my Bloodborne Let's Play shows. And let's look at starting gifts. Start with none. A Guide of Guidance. A stone that radiates a guiding light. Grass Jelly. This is an item created for the remake. Recovers some of users' HP over time, so it's a short health regenerating item, akin to the crystals in Dark Souls 2. Elixir. Temporarily increases the rate of stamina recovery. Brightwater. Recovers some of the user's MP over time. Providential Ring. This is another brand new item for the remake, and it's going to be what we're going with. It raises item discovery. This is akin to the Silver Serpent Ring in Dark Souls. Kunai. Poison throwing weapon. Firebomb. Oil cask. Produces a large flame when thrown. Soul Remains. Serves as bait for the soul starved. Fire Arrow. Inflict fire damage when equipped with a bow. Again, sticking with Providential Ring, it is fantastic, especially for an early game. And as you see, we will be leaving on the Digital Deluxe Edition items. I already know the voice type I want. E. It's also nice that you can choose either the Type A or Type B animations set. Okay, start with this preset. So, as we go through this character creation, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the game and other small things like that, just as a sort of a preamble. The original Demon Souls on PS3 came out on October 6, 2009. It was released by Atlas in the West, as Sony decided to forego publishing outside Japan. And this PlayStation 5 remake launched the same day as the PlayStation 5, which was November 12th, 2020, and we are about a year from that at this point, as today is October 8th, 2021. I almost did this as a Let's Play first, given that Demon Souls is essentially the start of this whole entire, I'd say, subgenre, more or less. But I had just played it, and I didn't want to do a second playthrough in a row of it one off and then back on camera. It just felt like a little too much and an easy way to get burned out. So I opted for Bloodborne instead. I love Demon Souls, but I think Bloodborne is still my favorite when it comes to this entire subgenre. This remake, all the music is completely redone with the choir and orchestra, while the original was done with on a budget and done completely digitally, and apparently they had problems just trying to scale it up for the remake, and I'm sure that's just one of two reasons that they did that. I'm sure the less spoken reason is because they just wanted to make it sound and look a lot fancier to match the budget, which is significantly higher. I mean, look at the detail on this starting armor. It's beautiful. I mean, you got all this raised reliefs right there, in all the sort of metal plating, and you can see the brass rims around the rivets and all that. It's so nice. I mean, and this character creator is so in depth. But personally, I like both soundtracks. I touched a bit on this in my Shadow of the Colossus Let's Play with also by Bluepoint, that people, because this is the internet, people are going to overly dramatize and just try to make subjective matters into objective ones when they are most assuredly not. And there's a lot of subjective art changes in this remake that I will be going over, and I like the majority of them, to be quite honest. I have no problem with many of the liberties they took. They look pretty good. You're absolutely, and I have no ill will with those who disagree and find the original artistry of the PlayStation 3 version better. That's fine. It's subjective. It's what bothers me is when people act as if it is objectively better. Because everyone can have different preferences. Art is subjective. It's okay to like different things. And it's okay for one person to have a different interpretation than you. And it's almost kind of the problem of remaking an old game with how people react to it. Is that your mind, you fill in a lot of those details that were never there in the first place. And seeing someone else do so in an official manner can, for some reason, to people just feels like it's insulting, both primarily to them, though they will project it as being insulting to the original vision. See how they have these more goofy shark teeth as a option here. Things like that. They went out of their way to get back as many possible of the original voice actors as they could. Let's see. And that's definitely appreciated, though all of them were not willing to come back, unfortunately. But I think the replacements that they got for the places that they needed them, they sound great. Yeah, put this little scar on there. I give this some little character. Normally I do pretty clean face, but if this is gonna be my Let's Play character, we're gonna say it's also been on some adventures. Alright, now that we are finished creating the character, let's get started.
King Alant the Twelfth, by channeling the power of souls, brought unprecedented prosperity to his northern kingdom of Boletaria. That is, until the colorless deep fog swept across the land. Boletaria was cut off from the outside world, and those who dared penetrate the deep fog never returned. But Valifax of the Royal Twin Fangs broke free from the fog and told the world of Boletaria's plight. That the old King Alant had roused the Old One, the great beast below the Nexus, from its eternal slumber, and that a colorless fog had swept in, unleashing terrible demons. The demons hunt down men and claim their souls. Those who lose their souls lose also their minds. The mad attack the sane, and chaos reigns. Valifax also spoke of the enticing power of the demon souls. Each time a demon claims a human soul, the demon's own soul is invigorated by the life force, and the power of a mature demon soul is beyond human imagination. The legend spread quickly. Mighty warriors lured by the possibilities braved the fissure to breach the accursed land, but none have returned. Bjor of the Twin Fangs, Yurt the Silent Chief, Saint Urbane, Skirva the Wanderer, the sixth Saint Astria with her knight Garl Vinland, and Sage Frake the Visionary. The colorless deep fog slowly creeps beyond Boletaria's borders. Humankind faces a slow and steady extinction. The deep fog will eventually swallow all lands near and far. But Boletaria has one final hope. A lone warrior who has braved the baneful fog. Has the land found its savior? Or have the demons found a new slave?
Absolutely, yes, we will play a journey to a Nexus. Like many things,
brave soul who fears not death. I shall guide you to the fissure. So that you may lull the Old One back to slumber.
So, as I was saying, like many things directed by Hidetaka Miyazaki, there are berserk references aplenty in Demon Souls. This is essentially where he got his start, at least making a real name for himself. R1 standard. Okay. this enemy is a goblin. But the story of the world being overtaken, or a kingdom in particular, being overtaken by colorless fog, is also reminiscent of a chapter in Berserk. I don't know all the details, as I still haven't read or really watched any of it, but I'm well aware of that fact. Hold L and circle to sprint. L1 to guard. Oop. R3 target lock and release. R to change lock target. Come and get me. Now, as we are offline, the ghosts you see are not echoes of other players, but developer added ones to show you the way forward, particularly in tutorial areas. Crescent Moongrass. So, where we are right now, we're on some sort of further outskirts of Boletaria, which is sort of an enclave country according to the lore. More Crescent Moongrass. Direction. Hold L and circle to vault over railings. Now, in the original, this wasn't so apparent, and so far, this is the only Souls-style game with this mechanic, but you can actually vault over specific surfaces. Circle to backstep, and L plus circle to roll. Something excellent about this remake, they all have, all the different weapon types have used parry and backstab animations. For the sword types here, you'll see that backstab, and for the straight swords, which rapiers as well fall into this category, and I think the daggers, trying to get it. Oh. Maybe I'll get on the next guy. But you'll see that they have their own unique things. There we go. Yeah, that goes for daggers and rapiers. It's very stylish. Just basically your little thrusting weapons. Touch Archstone. And now, one of my favorite things about this remake, we have a photo mode. So we can zoom in, look at things, talk about them, and pause. So welcome. I mean, if you're playing offline, please let me pause. Obviously you shouldn't when you're online, and this also has a really nice feature that you can use it while connected online, but if another player invades, you will be forced to forced out of photo mode. So this is an archstone, or at least a piece of one. I appreciate it's got like a weird little like face carved into it, and a sword that's we'll see somewhat soon the relevance of all these rings and such around it. fantastic use of the PlayStation 5 SSD is how fast this game loads. R2 for strong attack. This is a Boletarian soldier. Come and get me. Gotcha. Now, this is a blue-eyed knight. I very, very much appreciate their redesign in this game. In the original, the blue-eyed knights were pretty generically designed. Their faceplate here also had a sort of a glowing energy to it, but the pattern in which the energy emerged from was more like sort of kind of a jack-o'-lantern style face. Here it's more ornate, several holes. You kind of still get a face look to it, but it's more spectral and more interesting. The armor and weaponry is more highly ornate. You can see all these like sort of sun looking symbols, and the gray and the sort of like bronze brass color contrasting with it and really bringing out everything. All these little fantastic details. Triangle to wield weapon with both hands or release. So, two hands. Forward plus attack is to break guard. Switch left and right hand weapon with the arrows. I mean, D-pad. More crescent moon. Unknown warrior soul. We'll be looking at item descriptions in a little while. Hopefully to get through this tutorial first. Now, you can only do this journey to a Nexus once per save file. When you cross into New Game Plus, unfortunately, it does not let you replay this. Normally that's not a problem, but in this game in particular, I really wish they let you. Or half moon grass. So, I recommend, if you're going night class in Demon Souls, you take off most of your armor so you can get a nice, nice roll. And there's a reason for that. Because in the early game, it's not really honestly worth the trade-off in movement for the defense. Vanguard Demon. I'm hoping not to die here. This boss is a war of attrition. You really only get one chance at this. There are special bonuses per your save file. That's the move you want to do. It's the safest and easiest to dodge. Leaves a nice big opening. You can only take a couple hits from this guy if you're lucky. And you can take a lot more from you. Come on, butt stomp. Now, the original Vanguard Demon on PlayStation 3 was a reused asset from another From Software game called Enchanted Arms. It's kind of a strategy RPG on PS3 and 360. Oh dear. And he pretty much followed this exact template. But one of the main changes for the redesign that I really like is this weird sort of mouth wing back they gave him. He had these wings before, and they were just little bat wings that kind of just looked like they were glued onto him and didn't really have any function. They don't really hear either, but the way that they kind of morph them into some sort of like pseudo eldritch monstrous mouth, and it's not quite a mouth, is really neat and interesting. And they add these chains and things on it. I've only been able to do this particular fight once, and I certainly wasn't talking while doing it, so this is going well so far. Another small design detail that I appreciate that they added is these weird little fleshy roots coming off of him. And there's a very particular reason why I like that small detail. That adds a whole lot to him. His face is roughly the same, however, obviously it's significantly more detailed. You have pupils in the eyes when you zoom in far enough. You have these really cool gnarled horns And the art style of the original game, I still love it and everything. In fact, this is partially due in part to how much, shall we say, lower budget it was, but the way some of the way things came across kind of felt like they were out of a weird medieval painting, you know, with sort of like monsters and stuff, and how they'd be drawn all like sort of semi-surreal and abstract because the artist didn't really understand anatomy that well. Especially for non-existent creatures. And even though the Vanguard Demon was not originally created for demon souls, the weird little tiny wings high up on his back really kind of spoke to that, and the way that they look and the way its textures weren't that incredibly well detailed and everything. It's like if you could like smear some like oil paint filters and stuff on that and put them into a medieval painting, and you could probably get away with looking at least somewhat believable as that it was intended to be there. Got all these horns, this really nice axe with some fantastic details sort of molded onto it, as well as some human skulls decorating it. That's definitely new. You can see the little membranes in his little vestigial wings there. He is really neat. The chains, they're actually dynamic and react, so they shimmy and shake along with him in his gelatinous form. Got these cool hands with where now he's got actual claws set into his fingertips, and there's blood all over him. You can tell he's been through quite a few adventurers. Hopefully not this one. Too close. Let's see if there's anything worth looking at here before we take him out. Yeah, no, I think we covered that. Oh, Demon Vanquish. You shall obtain the demon soul and a power beyond human imagination or reckoning. I didn't quite catch it. Touch Archstone. Grey Demon Soul. Soul of a Vanguard Demon. Soul of a Vanguard Demon, a source of great power. Consumed to gain a large number of souls. Certain demon souls transmute into magic, miracles, or weapons. Now, unfortunately, the souls do not really have unique descriptors like they do in the Dark Souls series, so I'm mostly going to not be reading a whole lot of them. I will be, however, zooming in on the picture because of how cool they look. Now, in this tutorial, it is impossible to actually die until you get to Vanguard Demon. If the other smaller enemies started attacking you, they can only get you down to 1 HP. They are not allowed to kill you until you've reached Vanguard. Now, this bogus area was also in the original game, though it was hard to get to because people didn't understand these games at the time. This technically was and was not in the original game. Iron Helm. Now, what is that? Okay, so the fluted helm is what we started with. An iron helm with finely cut grooves, worn by knights in a relatively advanced region to Boletaria south. The grooves reinforce the thin iron sheet. Its weight slows stamina generation. This is the designed helmet for the remake. But if you beat Vanguard Demon and manage to get here, you get the Iron Helm. An Iron Helm of classic design, with finely cut grooves worn by knights in the relatively advanced region to Boletaria's south. The grooves reinforce the thin iron sheet. Its weight slows stamina regeneration. So their stats are identical, weight, defense, etc. But this is the original classic design from the PS3 version. Fun little bonus there. Full moon grass. And out here we have the Dragon God in his rare appearance outside of his boss arena. So it does give some credence to the intro, even though his boss arena is pretty sealed in, though we won't be seeing that for quite some time. What I believe where we are out here is somewhere on the outskirts of Stonefang Tunnel. Came into unknown egress. So you get to come to this area where and get all these extra goodies if you manage to beat the Vanguard Demon on the first go. Plus you get his soul. Lots of souls. That'll help if we need to top off and level up. So there is no way to get back here if you do not kill Vanguard. I love the Dragon God's design. They did a fantastic job modeling this new version. I mean, it's very faithful to the original. Still has the xenomorph mouth. Let's see if we can get it to open it. It's a little difficult to see from this angle, but he has a sort of a set of jaws within his set of jaws. As for what the Dragon God is, where it came from, and all of that, I'll be definitely discussing that in full detail. Speaking of moving forward, you died, however the Nexus traps you.
Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. Soul of the lost withdrawn from its vessel. Let strength be granted so the world might be mended. So the world might be mended. This is the Nexus. It holds together the northern land of Boletaria. Thou canst not quit the Nexus, but the 5 archstones will guide thee to the outer lands.
You have died and Nexus has imprisoned your soul. You cannot escape the Nexus. However, by capturing demon souls, you can reclaim your corporeal body. Nexial binding. So, demon souls as a mechanic, that is sort of reused in Dark Souls 2, but not really. Demon Souls has a mechanic in which you have human form and soul form. Currently, we are in soul form. We're all in soul form. After death, your health points are reduced to half, and you're essentially a walking spirit. You can still die and come back to where you were, but you're stuck here, bound to the Nexus by the woman that we just spoke to in the cutscene, the Maiden in Black. This here is the Crestfallen Warrior. Let's hear what he has to say.
Well, you slipped through the fissure too, did you? You came for demon souls? Or to save this land and be remembered as a hero? Hunting for demons? Try one of the archstones. Now go. That is why you came, is it not? To this accursed Boletaria. You came for demon souls? Bah, it's all the same. You're just another prisoner of the Nexus. We're welcome here, as long as we keep slashing up demons. You came for demon souls? We're welcome.
Okay, so he's the Crestfallen Warrior. His name says it all. He's just depressed and doesn't think there's any point in trying. This here is Stockpile Thomas. Now, Bloodborne and Dark Souls and the rest do not have the item system that Demon Souls does, in which you are limited by how much you can carry based on item weight. I'm kind of still mixed on this thing. I'm so glad it's not a problem anymore, especially since they've kind of changed the way healing works and there's maximum number of charges and everything, and that's mostly the one reason they finally got away from it, which is nice. You still have your equip burden and stuff like that, which is fine, but I'm not a big fan of item burden. But in this remake, it's almost completely negligible, which is fantastic, and we'll get more into that later.
I'm Stockpile Thomas. When the Scourge came, I didn't know what hit me. When I came to, I found myself here in this Nexus. My wife and daughter fell victim to the demons. But I would be worthless in battle. At the very least, I hope to lend my assistance to you brave slayers of demons. I would be happy to lighten your load and look after any excess baggage.
So, you speak to him to send additional items here. And while we're at it, let's take a look at a few of them. Okay, can't really read the descriptions here. Oh, yes I can. It's been a year. A medicinal herb named after the lunar phase, consumed to recover a small amount of HP. The effects of moongrass vary depending on its state at the time of harvest. Crescent moongrass is picked while very young. Medicinal herb named it. Yeah, so half moongrass and full moongrass. So based on the size of the moon that it's referencing is how much health it will recover. Now, in the original version, you get a hold up to 99 of each of these. In the remake, each one is capped off at certain numbers. I think 50 for Crescent, and then probably like 25 for Half Moon, and then 10 for Full Moon, and less for the other ones that come after that. I'm not exactly sure of the exact caps. I never really held that much, because not only have they introduced caps, but they also, each one weighs more, rather than next to nothing as they used to, because they're grass. It's a new little balance thing. It helps make, for people that engage in online, have a more fun PvP experience, hopefully, with not one person having 99 potential heals in their inventory to deal with. Noble's Lotus, the petal of a crimson flower that floats on water, consumed to counteract poison. Became a popular ornament among the nobility for its beauty. Nexus Binding. This is an item that was added for the remake. I didn't realize I had it until I was halfway through the game, because you get it right here at the start, and I missed the prompt completely. And it's very useful. The mark of those imprisoned by the Nexus. Bearer of the seal is bound to the Nexus, never to be free, even in death. But when the body is lost, the soul remains trapped. Nexus Binding turns a servant to the Nexus, but alas, without any souls collected. Now, okay, it's been added functions to the remake, I should say, rather than, or am I thinking of a different item? I'm sorry, again, it's been a little bit. I'll, put in this boss soul, and switch over to storage. Now, these souls and stuff here are from owning the deluxe edition. Preservation grains. You can find them, most of this stuff normally, but, if you bought the deluxe edition, you get a lot of this stuff up front too, to help you play through it. Ground blend of herbs and jelly with a slightly sweet smell. Grants additional resistance to status ailments temporarily. The denizens of the valley believe that mixture of dried herbs and various spices purge the air toxins that cause disease. Phosphorescent grains. Grains made from dried magical slug remains. Grants additional resistance from magic damage temporarily. Slugs thrive in the fluorescent water. Bearbug grains. Bearbug husk crushed into powdered form. Sprinkling it over the user grants additional fire resistance temporarily. Since ancient times, the miners have used the grains as a remedy. Large heartstone shard. Large shard. Okay, I'll read some more of this later. I'll get to the more important bits. Guide of Souls. Iridescent stone fueled by souls. Changes color depending on the nature of nearby souls. Crafted by Gary, known for his magic handicrafts and close acquaintance with Sage Frake the Visionary. Widely carried by travelers who depend on its ease of use and lightweight. So here's our regular weapons that the game started us with. I'm gonna hold on to both for right now. If I need to, I'll deposit one or the other, because my item burden, as you can see in the upper right, is 46 of 90. That gets too high and I'm not able to carry anything else. Now, these two items were added for the remake and exclusive to the deluxe edition. I'm just gonna say, I'm not gonna put them out by name, but it is really interesting to see some content creators bitching about this being a thing, that there's some items being locked behind the deluxe edition that have no upgrade path and are just for early game, just for fun, and completely don't really alter the balance or anything like that. Don't do anything super important. It's just the fact that they exist bothers them, and they tell you not to support that. And then you see them on Twitter posting videos where they are very clearly holding this ritual blade here. If you're going to have a stance, stick to it, or shut the fuck up. So, Reaper Sight. A pole weapon with a curved blade on one end, used for slash attacks. Originally wielded by a sorcerer that commanded spirits of the dead. Pole weapons can mow down many targets in a single blow, but are difficult to handle and require both strength and dexterity to use. Ritual Blade. A large ceremonial blade of an ancient tribe from an isolated island. An unorthodox weapon that uses its heavy weight to sever enemies. The effect of an optimal hit deals more damage than normal. Let me see. Can I even wield that? Probably not. Kite Shield. A medium-sized metal shield issued to knights of the relatively advanced region up to Boletaria's south. The yellow dragon crest signifies knights of low rank. Another Deluxe Edition exclusive equipment piece. Medium-sized metal shield. Hoplite shield. Medium-sized metal shield, specifically designed for Boletarian legions. The reinforced center of the shield is ideal against direct attacks. The legion's protective formation was renowned across the kingdom. Let's see, what else? Red Eye Knight equipment. Another Deluxe Edition exclusive item. The helmet of the Boletaria Knights is emblazoned with the image of the sun as proof of their commission from the king. Using Stonefang's hardened iron, it is heavier and stronger than a regular helmet. Its weight slows stamina regeneration. Red-Eye Knight Cuirass. Essentially the same description. Boletarian Royalty Clothes. Official robes of the Boletarian royal family. Another deluxe item. The strong fabric is accented with details of carefully sewn gold thread that represents prosperity of the kingdom. Red Eye Knight gauntlets, royalty armbands, greaves, and royalty leggings, and a ring of longevity. A legendary ring with an engraving of a flowing river increases max HP. Once given only to the bravest warriors, the ring would ensure their safe travels back home.
Rest assured, your goods are safe and sound with me. Best of luck to you. When the Scourge came, I abandoned my wife and daughter and fled like a coward. When I came to, I was in this Nexus. I haven't dared venture outside these walls since. I wish I could do more, but I am ignorant of the world beyond these walls. My candle maiden cared for me during my first days here. She says very little, but has a kind heart. She's just the age my young daughter would have been. Poor girl. Trapped here with her eyes occluded by wax. If only something could be done to help her. If only something could be done to help her. Hello again. I'm keeping a close watch on your belongings, don't you worry. You have a heart of gold. Don't let them take it from you.
Yep, that's exactly what I wanted to hear from him.
You new here. Are you here for my services? The name's Baldwin. I'm just an ordinary blacksmith. It's simple. Just bring me all the souls you can. In trade, I'll give you weapons, or forge the ones you already have. With your souls, I can eke out a living. And with my weapons, you can go on living. Not a bad deal, eh?